Namaskaromi, swagatam sarvebhyah. Now welcome back to the next set of lessons in our introduction to Sanskrita, the language of the gods. In this unit, we'll be looking at what's known as the passive construction in English, or in Sanskrit, it's called the karmaṇi prayoga. The karmaṇi prayoga is not actually that difficult to generate from our verb roots. It's actually much easier than the present active forms, the lat that we spent so much time on. But it can get kind of tricky to wrap our heads around how passive works. So first, let's do talk about how passives work, and then we'll turn to how to make passive constructions in the next segment. So far, all of the sentences that we've learned how to make basically belong to what's known as the active construction, the kartari prayoga in Sanskrit. The word kartari is in the locative in the seventh case, and it comes from the noun kartr, which means the doer of an action. The right? So the kartari prayoga would mean a construction, a prayoga, that's made with the focus on the agent, the kartari, the kartr in the seventh, the locative case. But if instead now we want to move our focus of our sentence from the doer of the action to the object of the action, the karman, this is called the karmaṇi prayoga, the construction with respect to the thing to which the action is done, the karman. In English, this is known as the passive construction. The terms agent and object and kartr and karman, they could get kind of confusing. Let's try to sort that out in this segment. And an easy way to understand the difference between active and passive construction, to me, is to think about what kind of question our sentence is going to be answering. So basically every sentence we've learned so far can be an answer to the question, who's doing the action X? So for example, take the sentence, Ashwaha trinam khadati. The horse eats grass. It answers our question, who's eating the grass? Kaha trinam khadati, Ashwaha trinam khadati. The horse is eating the grass. How about the sentence, Sita granthan patati? Sita is reading 3 or more books. Who's reading the books? Ka granthan patati, Sita granthan patati. Sita is reading the books. This will work even if there's no object, actually. Vanaraha hasati, the monkey is laughing. Who's laughing? Kaha hasati, Vanaraha hasati, the monkey laughs. These are all examples of the active present conjugation of verbs, the lat. The same thing will work actually for past tense. The past tense we've learned is imperfect, the lung. These sentences would become Ashwaha trinam akhadat, Sita granthan apatat, Vanaraha ahasat. These are still active constructions, still kartari prayoga, a verbal conjugation with a focus on the agent of the action, on the kartr. Who ate the grass? The horse ate the grass. Who read the books? Sita read the books. Who was laughing? The monkey was laughing. Now suppose we were less interested in who's doing these actions and more interested in what's happening to the objects that are impacted by the actions. Right? Our focus would shift from the agent, the kartr, to the object, the karman. The resulting construction is going to be the karmaṇi prayoga, the passive construction. So let's go back to our first sentence. The horse eats the grass. Ashwaha trinam khadati. Now let's say I'm not really interested in what the horse is doing, but I want to know what's happening to the grass. And so I ask you not who's eating the grass, but rather, hey, what's happening to the grass? Right? The answer in English would now become the grass is being eaten by the horse. Right? The same action, but with a different focus now. In Sanskrit, it would become trinam ashvena khadyate. The grass, the trinam, is being by the horse, ashvena, being eaten. Khadyate. We'll learn where khadyate comes from khad in our next segment. What about our second sentence? Sita granthan patati. Sita reads the books. Right? If I asked you not who's reading the books, but instead I'm asking you, hey, what's happening to these books? Right? Your answer would be the books are being read by Sita. In Sanskrit, this would be Granthaha Sitaya Pathyante. the focus is now on the 3 or more books, grantaha, and now they are in the nominative, the first case, while sita is pushed to the third case, the instrumental. So that's basically it. That's the entirety of the passive construction. There are a few points that I want to make about it. First, the object of the active construction becomes the subject of the passive sentence. The grass is being eaten. The books are being seen. The focus moves from the horse to the grass, from sita to the books. So the passive verb has to agree with those what had been the objects, not the agents. When the focus is on sita, we say sita reads 3 or more books. The active verb reads, and even in English, agrees with our singular sita. When in the passive construction, we focus on the books, and we'll say that the books are being read by sita. So again, even in English, the verb are being read now is agreeing with the plural books. The second thing is that the subject of our original sentence now gets placed in the instrumental form using our third case, the tritiya vibhakti. By the horse, by sita, ashvena, by the horse, sitaya, by sita. So for turning active construction to passive, going from kartari to karmaṇi prayoga, we can remember a basic formula. 1 goes to 3, 2 goes to 1, VA becomes VP. This means the active verb will become the passive verb. All the other cases, all the other words in the sentence will remain the same. So that's basically it for passive construction. Now, you clever folks out there will have noticed that we've ignored the third of our 3 sample sentences that I gave you. Vānaraha hasati, the monkey laughs. In English, verbs like laugh don't take passive constructions because they don't have direct objects. In English, these are called intransitive verbs. Sanskrit, though, in Sanskrit, intransitives, which are known as akarmaka dhatus, this means verbal roots that do not have a karman, akarmaka, they don't have that direct object. They are opposed to roots that do have direct objects of action, called sakarmaka dhatus. These are transitive verbs. In English, you can't make passive out of intransitive verbs, but in Sanskrit, you can actually do it. And it even gets its own name, the bhave prayoga. We'll just call this the intransitive passive. Let's look back at our monkey now and see how this bhave prayoga works. Vānaraha hasati, the monkey is laughing. There's no direct object, nothing in the second case in our sentence that we could move into our nominative. Now, what we have to do then, when we're making a passive out of intransitive roots, is to hypothesize a dummy subject, a placeholder pronoun tat, meaning it in the neuter singular third person. That unexpressed tat is now going to be your new subject, and we're asking what's happening, what is happening. The answer might be it is being laughed by the monkey. In Sanskrit, this is expressed as tat vānarena hasyate. We don't actually say the tat out loud, so we just end up saying vānarena hasyate. It's being laughed by the monkey. And that's it. That's the bhave prayoga, the intransitive passive. Again, it sounds extremely odd in English to speak that way, and if you did run into this sentence in a Sanskrit text, maybe your best strategy in terms of translation would be to switch it to active form. The monkey is laughing, but that's that. So that's the kartari, karmaṇi, and bhave prayogas, the active, passive, and the intransitive passive constructions. We'll take a break here. When we come back in our next segment, we'll look at how to form the passive construction from our verb roots, from our dhatus. Till then, thank you for watching. Punarmilamaha. Dhanyavadaha.